So Zeus finally ended up premiering the first episode of Baddies Gone Wild, and let me tell you, I enjoyed watching it, okay? It definitely gave BGC vibes. Now, nothing can fully compare to the Bad Girls Club, but I felt like this came pretty damn close. It was definitely giving a modern version of the Bad Girls Club. So at the very beginning of this episode, Natalie actually ends up meeting up with Ming Lee, who is Nicki Minaj's sister, who is going to be a part of this season of Baddies Gone Wild. Now, she's cute to me. She seems like she has a really big, fun personality. I don't have anything negative to say about her based on her actions in this episode, so I'm kind of liking her so far. She did say that she wanted to step out of Nicki Minaj's shadow, so hopefully being on this show will be able to give her the opportunity to do that, but I don't have anything negative to say about her. She is young though. She's the youngest girl in the house for this season. She's only 19 years old, but because they're in Brazil and the legal drinking age is 18, she's actually able to participate in everything the other girls are able to participate in. Now, they started off introducing each girl that's going to be a part of this season, and I like that they did that. It was definitely giving BGC vibes. It gives us a chance to get to know each girl individually and for us to see what role they're going to play on the show. The first girl that they introduced us to is TeeTee, and she seems like she has a really big personality, and throughout this episode she definitely made her presence known. She did say in her confessional that she was going to, run the house. I don't know if she's going to be able to run the house because of how small she is, but she definitely has a big personality from what we were able to see on the show. Then they introduced us to Jaden. She seems really cute and sweet, and I feel like because she looks cute and sweet, the other girls are going to underestimate her, so she's definitely going to have to prove herself because she's definitely probably going to end up being a target for some people. Then there's Coco. She's cute and she seems like she's a nice girl. She didn't really do too much in this episode, so we really didn't get to know her too much, but I'm interested to see what she brings to the rest of the season. Then there's Bahati, that definitely ended up making her presence known towards the end of this episode. I love that she has an Australian accent. I was definitely loving that, and I'm interested to see what else she can bring to the season because she definitely popped out in this episode. Hurricane M is definitely somebody you're gonna have to look out for this season because she definitely can fight and she will fight. She made that very clear in this episode. I love that she's an educated baddie though. That's something that I definitely like. Janelle's is cute. I like her accent. I think she's a really pretty girl. She did, try to make her presence known in this episode, so she did stand out a bit, but I don't know if she's as much of a fighter as she tried to make herself seem in this episode. Gloss Up is also a part of this season. I'm kind of familiar with her from music and from her being on social media. I'm actually surprised that she decided to be a part of this show. She seemed pretty quiet in this episode. I hope she comes out of her shell in another episode because so far we really didn't get to know her. Daisy is the one who they have been calling Little Rolly, and I can see why they called her that because she definitely has a huge personality and she popped out throughout this entire episode. She was one of the names I remembered from beginning to end because she made sure that she was in every scene. Then there's Erica. She's cute and she looks hella young to me, okay? I know she's not that young because obviously Ming Lee is 19 and she's the youngest one in the house, but Erica looked really young and sweet. She looked like she doesn't even belong on this show, but you have to be careful for the ones that look really sweet and innocent, so I'm definitely going to be looking out for her. Then there's Cupcake. I don't really know how to feel about Cupcake. I saw her doing some stuff on social media right before the season ended up airing, so I'm not sure how to feel about Cupcake just yet. Then there was Oxy Pearl. I think that she's cute and she seems to have a really big personality. She didn't do too much in this episode, but she definitely gives me the vibes that she's a fighter. Rella G's definitely made her presence known in this episode. She got into a few squabbles in this episode. She looks sweet and young too. She's from New York. They have a lot of New York girls this season, so I'm interested to see what that's gonna bring. And then last but not least, there's Shay. I thought she was really cute and pretty too. She did say that she was an instigator. I like that she's owning the fact that she thinks she's an instigator because every season of the Bad Girls Club, everybody played a role and there was always an instigator on the show. So I definitely like when there's somebody there that will stir up the drama because it makes the show more entertaining. So they end up splitting the girls up onto two different sprinter buses to head to the Baddies Gone Wild house, and the girls are on the buses trying to get to know each other a little bit, and drama pops off almost immediately because one of the girls ended up asking Jaden if she was originally supposed to be a part of the cast because when they saw the list of people, her name was not on there, and she actually admitted that they put her on the list last minute, so she was basically a last minute pick. And when Jaden said that she was a last minute pick, that's when Hurricane M immediately ended up coming for her, saying that she was a replacement and basically told her not to speak on anything because she was a replacement. I kind of found it weird that she was calling Jaden a replacement because she's technically not a replacement because she got casted before the cast actually ended up starting to film, so that's weird to me that she referred to her as a replacement. You can tell that there was another issue that she had with Jaden and they were going back and forth, and basically basically Hurricane M said that her issue with Jaden is that a couple of years ago, they almost got into it because she claims that allegedly Jaden's mother was calling people the N-word, and this is a white woman, and so she had an issue with that. Jaden said that Hurricane M almost fought her mom, but it didn't end up happening. And while they're going back and forth with each other, all of a sudden Jaden hops up out of her seat and she reaches over to swing on Hurricane M. And I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised that Jaden did that because she doesn't give fighter to me. When I saw her in her introduction, she looked like she was just a sweet, innocent girl. But the way she jumped up to swing on Hurricane M definitely showed me that she will defend herself if she had to. But I'm sorry, M definitely whooped up Jaden real quick. I'm not saying that she just really beat her up, but her lip was kind of messed up. I think her lip was bleeding a little bit. And she definitely got the best of Jaden during that fight, even though they didn't get to fight at full capacity because the security was in the way and they were fighting over seats in a van. So it was just a really messy situation. Then while the girls on the other Sprinter bus are trying to get to know each other, there's another argument that ends up unfolding because Daisy starts saying that she's from New York, but she's from Rochester, New York. And that's when Janelle decides to chime in and says that because she's from Rochester, she's not really from New York. And Janelle feels like she's the one that's really from New York. So to me, I feel like at some point that'll end up coming up again between the two of them and they'll probably end up getting into it. Even though I feel like that's a stupid reason for the two of them to fight, I feel like some of the girls were trying to make their presence known because they didn't want to fade into the background in the first episode. Then something almost ended up going down between Cupcake and Oxy Pearl because Oxy Pearl, I guess, was on a live stream with Smiley, and you know how Smiley's messy. She talks about a lot of the girls. I guess Smiley was talking about how Cupcake had a tattoo of Natalie's name on her, and basically Oxy Pearl giggled about the situation, and so that's why Cupcake confronted her. I agree with Oxy though. I think it was weird for Cupcake to confront her about a little chuckle that she did. I mean, if she didn't say anything and all she did was laugh, to me that wasn't even worth mentioning. Then the girls on the Sprinter end up getting into it again because Shay, who said in her introduction video that she is an instigator, decided to instigate a fight with some of the girls because she started saying that she has an issue with the girls that got casted off of the internet instead of getting casted from actually showing up and auditioning, because she sat in the line and she actually auditioned for it. I thought that was a stupid reason for her to say that some of the girls didn't deserve to be casted for the show just because they didn't go to the auditions. They still auditioned by sending in an audition tape. So I think that was weird that she, started up an argument over something like that. So she's arguing with a lot of the girls because a lot of the girls that she was on the Sprinter with actually ended up getting casted from the internet and not because they went to the audition. So she's arguing with them and she's standing next to Daisy. And Daisy kind of gets annoyed at the fact that Shay is clapping her hands together and moving her hands around a little bit too much. So when Daisy tries to tell her that she needs to calm it down a little bit, that's when the two of them kind of start going back and forth and then they start fighting each other, okay? And Daisy definitely whooped up Shay. I'm sorry. Daisy definitely handled Shay. Shay started the trouble and Daisy finished it, okay? She definitely finished it. Then on the other Sprinter, another fight ends up starting up because TeeTee decides that she's going to make fun of Bahati's wig because of the way that it was sitting on her head. And so Rella G's decides to try to hand, Bahati her headscarf. And when Bahati says that she doesn't want it, Rella G's for some reason takes offense to that. So she ends up wrapping the headscarf around her own head and she reaches over to try to hit Bahati and the two of them started fighting with each other. And I was just so confused by this whole situation. Like, TeeTee started it. I don't understand why TeeTee even decided to make a comment about Bahati's wig. I mean, what does her wig sitting on her head a certain type of way do to her? Like, why was she affected by this girl's wig? And there was a way that she could have told her in a nicer way to fix her wig or maybe tried to help her fix it, but she was just trying to make fun of her. And then Rella getting upset because Bahati didn't want to take her scarf. I mean, why would she take a headscarf from somebody she just met for 2 seconds? Like, she's not going to put something on her head from a girl that she doesn't even know. And Rella G's ended up getting exactly what she was looking for because Bahati kind of handled her a little bit in the way that she could because they were in a bus and there was not a lot of room, so they couldn't do much damage, but she definitely scratched up Rella G's face. And I mean, she got what she deserved because she had no business getting involved in that situation in the first place. Just because Bahati didn't want to wear her scarf doesn't mean that she should have tried to fight her. Now, Bahati and Rella G start arguing and then they start fighting again. And this time, Bahati is holding on to Rella's hair and she takes her foot and she's trying to kick her in the head. And security immediately stops that, which I'm glad about because it's like you can't just be kicking people in their head now. You could really hurt somebody and cause severe damage, so I'm glad that they stopped that. But TeeTee obviously felt some type of way about Bahati and she was telling Bahati to move her foot because she almost kicked her. So when security finally ended up breaking up the fight between Rella and Bahati, that's when TeeTee decides that she's not going to let Bahati sit next to her in the seat, so she stretches her leg out so that Bahati could not sit there. So Bahati and TeeTee start fighting with each other, and I will say it looked like TeeTee was was really getting in there with Bahati. Even though TeeTee is small and skinny, she can definitely fight from what I was able to see, and she was definitely getting in there with Bahati despite Bahati being a little bit bigger than her. She definitely held her own in that situation. However, she is the one who started the fight with Bahati because Bahati didn't even do anything to her. She just didn't like the girl's wig. Then Shay and Janelle's end up getting into an argument on the other sprinter because Janelle still feels some type of way about the fact that Shay was saying that the girls who got casted from the internet and not from going to the audition didn't deserve to be casted. So her and Shay start going back and forth with each other, and Janelle tries to like get to the front so that she can fight Shay, and she does end up getting into the front at some point, but Shay kind of did her up a little bit. I'm not saying that she just whooped Janelle's, but it looked like all Janelle's was trying to do was pull hair, and Shay was swinging. So to me, I'll give that to Shay from the little bit that we got to see, because they really didn't get to do much. They're on a bus. Now, this Baddies Gone Wild house in Brazil was really nice. This house is nicer than all the Baddies houses combined that they've done so far over the past few seasons. And so Natalie doing this little walkthrough through the Baddies Gone Wild house definitely gave me BGC vibes. You know, when Natalie was walking through the Bad Girls Club houses in the past, it was definitely giving those vibes. And then I got a lot of nostalgia when Natalie went into the confessional room and she's talking shit in there, because we know she used to do that a lot on BGC 4 and BGC 13. So it definitely gave me those vibes. And I love that they have cameras in all the rooms of the house, because it's giving that they're going to film 24/7 like they did in the Bad Girls Club. So we'll be able to see why everybody's beefing, because you know how on Baddies we're not able to always know the origin of the beefs. I feel like with them filming more often and having cameras around the house, we'll be able to know the origin of all the beefs, which I like. So Natalie ends up greeting all the new baddies at the front door, and everybody's excited because they want to go inside, see the house, and pick their rooms, which that's going to be interesting, because on Bad Girls Club, they used to fight over who was going to have which room. So I'm interested to see what happens when they get inside the house. And while Natalie's trying to talk to the girls, they start telling her about all the fights that they had on the sprinters. And then all of a sudden, TeeTee and Bahati start fighting again. And I don't like the view that they showed of this fight. They showed it above head, okay? They gave like a bird's eye view of it. So we were looking down at them fighting, but when they showed a little bit of a close-up of it, it definitely looked like TeeTee was really rocking Bahati. Like, Bahati got in there, but it looked like TeeTee was winning. I'm sorry, from my opinion, and I slowed it down a little bit. Even though it was like a bird's eye view, I did slow it down. It looked like TeeTee was rocking Bahati, even though Bahati definitely defended herself. Then Rella decides that she's gonna fight Bahati after Bahati just finished fighting TeeTee, so they start fighting, and they're kind of dragging each other across the ground, and Natalie's telling them to calm down and to stop because somebody's gonna get hurt, and she's right, okay? Because they're on the damn ground, okay? Their legs are gonna get cut up and everything. It's just too dangerous to be fighting outside of the house. And I just feel like these girls are fighting Bahati for no reason. Like, they started with her. She wasn't even bothering anybody on the damn sprinter. Then Shay and Janelle's get ready to fight each other again, and they're swinging on each other over security. That fight really didn't go anywhere. Nobody won or lost that fight. To me, that fight was kind of boring. And then Hurricane M and Jaden start fighting, and it looked like Hurricane M was getting in there with Jaden. It looked like she was whooping her up a little bit. They didn't really show us much of that fight, but from what I was able to see, it looked like Hurricane M was definitely getting Jaden. So Natalie gets them to stop fighting, and she walks them through the house, and she brings them upstairs to the rooftop, which is really nice. They have like their own little day club area, which is really cool. And the girls are up there, and Natalie starts telling them that there's some stakes this season, okay? Every girl is going to get rated every single episode by the fans, and at the end of the season, by the time they get to the reunion, whoever the fans voted for as the MVP will be the one that ends up getting $50,000. So I hope none of the fans are biased, okay? I hope the girl that ends up winning MVP at the end of the season is somebody that actually deserves it, and not just because people like that person. I just hope that it's somebody that actually deserves that money that gets it. Then Natalie ends up introducing Ming Lee to the cast, and everybody seemed pretty excited to see her. Nobody seemed to have an issue with her. They were very welcoming to her. They know she's the youngest one there. Hurricane M did make some comments in her confessional, though, saying that Ming Lee better make sure that she's able to handle herself in the house, because some people are going to be coming for her. So I don't know if Hurricane M is going to be one of the people that comes for Ming Lee, but so far Ming doesn't seem like she's a problem yet. I'm not gonna lie though, Ming Lee trying to be a peacemaker in this house was kind of annoying me a little bit when all the girls were fighting on the rooftop, because it's like, girl, you're gonna have to sit back and let these girls fight, because there's nothing you're gonna be able to say or do to calm these girls down. Bahati and TeeTee start arguing with each other again, and then TeeTee runs up and the two of them start fighting. And again, to me, it looked like TeeTee was kind of getting Bahati. Bahati definitely gets in there. She doesn't just get whooped up, but TeeTee definitely was handling her a little bit from what I was able to see. And like I said, I slowed down all the fights, and it looked like TeeTee was getting more hits in. win. But I do respect Bahati for getting in there and fighting and defending herself, because she didn't start the beef with TeeTee. TeeTee started the beef with her. But then they show a clip of Bahati biting on TeeTee's leg, and I'm like, oh God, please don't tell me there's gonna be another bite this season. Okay, we had enough biting last season and on Baddies Caribbean. We don't need any more this time. Then while Bahati is in the middle of fighting somebody else and security is kind of trying to get in there to try to break up the fight, Cupcake comes over there, and at first I thought that she was trying to break up the fight, but then when you look closer into it, it looks like she swung on Bahati while she was already fighting somebody else, and they all said that they didn't agree with jumping. So Daisy runs over there and she hits Cupcake in the back of the head, and I was laughing about it because it's like, okay, if you're trying to hit somebody while they're already fighting somebody else, then I think Daisy did the right thing. To me, Daisy was the one in this episode that stood out the most. I'm not gonna say she's my favorite yet because I have to see how, you know, the episodes play out, but in this episode, to me, she definitely stood out the most. And at the very end of the episode, right before the episode cut off, it looked like, you know, Coco and Daisy were fighting each other. I don't know if it was Coco that Daisy was fighting. Let me know down in the comment section if you know who she was fighting, but it looked like Coco to me. I don't really know why the two of them were fighting, but they definitely were. But that was the end of Baddies Gone Wild, the first episode. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good, and I think it's only going to get better from here. So let me know what you guys thought about Baddies Gone Wild down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all. And until next time, I will talk to you guys in my next video.